is going on, everybody? Welcome to lunchtime. It's lunchtime with the Clydesdale. Yep, it is Thursday. We're getting close to the end of the week. Gonna throw a dart. Shouldn't have, but I did. There it is. All right, it is Thursday. We're heading into the weekend. Tomorrow we're gonna have a little bit of a different show. I'm gonna have Debbie Wagner and Sandy Fent on from Ohio's public safety group, talking about what they're doing to keep first responders healthy and doing a tribute to the victims of 9/11. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. It's not going to be a normal lunchtime, but we're still going to have some fun talking with those fine ladies. I have a bunch of updates, but I wanted to play one thing if I can find it. And of course I cannot. Let's try here. What's going on? Jay Birch, Amanda, Megan, Jeff, Craig, Sarah, Corey, Meredith, and Traint Olive. What's going on? All right. This came out yesterday. Really like what CrossFit's been doing lately. So I wanted to play this for you if you didn't see it. Because of CrossFit, I can ... New campaign. They made this at the games this year. So I'm going to play that for you now. Shoot.
Live an active and healthy lifestyle.
Do burpees. Do pull-ups.
Move like a 30-year-old.
Do what I love.
Feel like myself again.
Now at 45, do the same things I used to do at 25.
I can jump on boxes that my other 70-year-old friends admire me for being able to do.
Play with my grandchildren for hours.
Be a better mom and a better person.
Haul in all the groceries all at once.
Walk through life with confidence.
Be my best self in the world for my family, my students, and my friends.
I can speak. I had a stroke January 3rd in the CrossFit box. As we were warming up, the coach recognized my symptoms, called the ambulance. They took me, treated me. And the next day I was able to get back in and speak again.
Because of CrossFit.
Yeah. Jay Birch says, and you can apparently make your own. You can also tag CrossFit and hashtag because of CrossFit I can, and they're going to play some of those throughout the next few weeks or so. Brian Spin said something really interesting last night that I really dug, and that was that the key to all this that's coming out with CrossFit is it can't just be a campaign. It has to be a culture. And we have to get back to where all of this stuff becomes the culture of CrossFit as opposed to just a marketing campaign. And so I think that people are behind the recent campaigns that CrossFit is putting out, and they're really cool and they really tell a great message. But I think a lot of people are also very hesitant to jump all in until you see that this starts becoming the culture of CrossFit. And I don't think we'll know that for a fact until we know who the new owners are and that we know what direction they're going to take this whole thing. So, yeah, I wanted to give credit to Spin for saying that. It was a great quote. A campaign is not a culture. We've got to get it to a culture. The campaign is just the first step. And let's hope that we can get to the culture part of this, because that's what we truly, truly need. I'm going to go through a couple quick updates. First update is that Alex Gazan has announced that she is withdrawing from the WFP Tour Stop 2. I've been saying for a couple weeks that that I don't think she's going to do tier Wadapalooza SoCal. I think her individual career is too important to risk anything in her rehab over an invitational. And she has enough points from winning Tour Stop 1 of WFP that Tour Stop 2 is not going to prevent her from making it to the finals. So she withdraws there. And I do believe that she'll withdraw from SoCal as well before it gets here. So we'll see what happens for sure. I know she's back to putting some weight on the leg and doing some things, but her individual career next year is going to be way too important to mess anything up by a hasty decision this year. So I think while we all want to see her back on the floor as quickly as possible, the best scenario for her is to get that rehabbed and come back next year better and stronger than ever and ready to kick some ass. I've also been working on my Hattie documentary, hanging out with her at the CrossFit Games. It is not going as quickly as I would hoped because I got so much footage. Just going through all the footage. And what's crazy is Hattie is so open and raw and blunt about so many things that my first pass through is editing it down to what I'm going to use. And after watching Hiller's critique of the WFP video, I like the way he let us into the way his mind works in looking at these things, because I really like his day in the life videos with athletes. And I'm really trying to cut out all of the stuff that doesn't feed into telling the story. So I'm going through that phase right now where I'm taking all this footage and I'm cutting it down to what really tells the story of hanging out with a CrossFit Games athlete the weekend of the CrossFit Games. And there's a lot of content left. So I'll do one pass. I'll start putting it together. And I'm already kind of compiling it now. And I'll go through it again, probably make another edit pass, make sure everything's in the right order. And then hopefully we'll have it out in a few weeks. My first thought was that I could have this out before the Masters CrossFit Games. I don't think that is possible because there's so much good stuff that both Hattie and Tristan gave me that it's going to take me a little bit of time to kind of weed it down to what I need and make it usable and make it a story. But super excited about it because some of the stuff that came out in just basic conversation is really, really good stuff. So, and speak of the devil, she is in the comments. There she is. Yeah, really excited about it. And I'll keep you guys updated where I'm at for all of that. The last thing I'm going to say is last night I did get my media credentials for the Masters CrossFit Games, the age group CrossFit Games. And I've been told yes for a couple months. I just wasn't giving any details or any information about it or how much I could do or not do at the games. And so I have them and it does get me in. It is far less access than I had last year. I'm somewhat disappointed in that because I'm not allowed in the warm-up area. I'm not allowed on the floor. Last year, we had 2 people on the floor, 2 people in the warm-up area to do the full behind the scenes. And this year, I'm not allowed anybody on the floor, and I'm not allowed anybody in any of the warm-up areas. So I will have to do it all like out and amongst the crowd. And I'm going to have to figure out different mics this year because my boom mic, it'll be too loud in the arena to get what I'm trying to get. So I've got to figure all that out. But I've decided, and I want you guys to be the first to know, that last year I did 11 episode behind the scenes of the Masters CrossFit Games. I'm not going to be able to do that with the limited access I have this year. So this year will be more of like a 4 or 5 episode behind the scenes. And that's if I can even get the stuff I need to get to do it. It's not even going to be really behind the scenes because I don't have access to anything behind the scenes. It's going to be like out on the floor, just talking to athletes, kind of compiling that together. So it's going to be a lot more limited this year than it was last year, which really bums me out. But Scott, this year you can just enjoy watching us. I would enjoy that very, very much. This is where I'm disappointed, and it's probably my my monologue for the day, and that is that draw your dagger. Yeah, rub that salt, buddy. It must be because there's so much media coverage for the age groupers that they don't need your help. I think this is what sucks. We talk about masters athletes year round on this channel. We're the only channel that really does that. And that's because Jamie is a masters athlete. She is affected by a lot of these decisions, but I've always been close with the masters athletes, and I love those people. Lido actually makes a great point. Do you think it's because of all the minors this year? Could be. Last year I had access to the warm-up area, but they had a gate around the actual like warm-up area. And so I was outside that fence, but I was still allowed to like hang out there, and I could call people over to the fence, and was able to do that. Plus, it's all depending on the scheduling, and there's 4 different floors, and I guess 4 different warm-up areas, one for each of the different floors. So I could avoid the teens if that's what they wanted from me. Megan, this is the only place that has good masters interviews and news. You guys are the best. So this is what's disappointing. Last year I did an 11 episode behind the scenes promoting that event. I also did several interviews leading up to the games with masters athletes. I put out a blanket thing on Instagram and said, anybody who wants to be interviewed, notify me, and I will do my best to interview everybody I can from the Masters group. I did all of that free of charge. I didn't get paid by Legends. I didn't get paid by the Masters CrossFit Games. I did those things on my own dime. On my own dime. I was respectful of every rule that I was given. I followed the rules. I did everything I was supposed to do. And I put out this content free of charge. On everything I put out, I also tagged Legends and the CrossFit Games. They shared none of it. None of it. It was all out there for free of charge for them to do. I made a trailer for every episode. I tagged them on every one of them, and none of them were shared. Nobody else is showcasing the Masters athletes. Nobody. And the fact that I have to scratch and claw to just get in the building is really freaking frustrating. And now I'm allowed in the building, but really I only have spectator access. So I can't even give you a behind the scenes look because I'm not allowed behind the scenes of anything. And you can go back and watch last year's behind the scenes, and you'll see that I am behind a fence. I am calling people over to me. And if you choose to not come talk to me, you don't have to come over. I only did it if I could get your attention. I tried to stay out of people's way. I was very respectful of people getting ready for their events. I only talked to people who are willing to talk to me. And through those 11 episodes, I would say 98% of it was positive promotion of that event. The only thing that was not positive were the 3 people that popped for steroids or PEDs, excuse me. And I had interviewed them before, and all I did was show what big con artists they were by what they said to me before they knew they were going to pop. And then when they popped, I showed it to show how shitty they looked. That hurts. It sucks. And this world of like media, and I think people don't get it. I think it's weird. Like people like Savon get it. Like when they went to Syndicate Crown, it was a partnership between them and Syndicate Crown. They're promoting the event promotes them. It's a mutual agreement between the two. Most events look at media, third-party media, as this outside thing that has nothing to do with their event, and they don't want to do anything to help them. Truly, I am there to promote the Masters athletes. I follow them. They're my friends. I've become entrenched in this culture of Masters athletes, and I want to promote the event and them. But I am given nothing of that in return. I'm barely given access. None of the content is shared. And the people running the Masters CrossFit Games are missing out because they don't understand the relationship between media and their event. And maybe some media people abused that in the past, but I have a track record of being very respectful and following every rule and doing what I'm told to highlight the athletes and the event when I'm there covering it. So what they've decided to do is just complete disrespect for everything I've tried to do to promote their event. And it hurts, it sucks, it pisses me off. Draw your dagger. I'm a nobody in this space, and I see companies, channels, entities, events use media I have made without ever even talking to me about it. There's obviously a disconnect between the media and others. There is. I mean, Draw Your Dagger is a hardworking photographer, videographer. I've been in the pits with him. The guy busts his ass. And he's there probably free of charge, probably on his own dime, doing what he can for everybody else. So, who let the cats out? Meow. Scott, looking from the outside, it doesn't seem like legends have much of a grasp of anything when it comes to CrossFit competitions, not just media. I mean, I don't want to get into complete negativity and lose what I have. And it's not just legends. There are other event organizers who do not understand the relationship with media. That if used right, and you weed out the bad, if used right with the media that are there for good intentions, there should be a partnership that promotes what you do in your event. I have such a good relationship with Syndicate Crown that they actually email before their events because they know the minute I get on the grounds, I'm going to be putting up content, tagging them constantly throughout the weekend. They understand that. So they actually reach out to see if I'm coming instead of me having to reach out to them. And Dry Your Dagger just nailed it. Wilson with Syndicate is a great example of someone who does it right. He understands the relationship that media can help him sell tickets. Media helps him promote the event. The more content they can put out about their event, the better it is for their event. And I'm there free to them to do that. The only thing I get in return is access. That is my payment. That is Draw Your Dagger's payment. It's the access. So when you nickel and dime on the access, you're nickeling and diming on the one thing that got me there. Denise Moore, do you think it might be something to do with photography packages they're selling to athletes? They don't want people stepping on each other. Just wondering if there's a connection. If that's it, it's very short-sighted because those photo packages aren't doing anything to promote their event. It's just short-term cash in the moment, not long-term benefit. And I will tell you this, last year with the access we were given, every day, my two videographer photographers downloaded everything we had and gave it to the people selling the photo packages. As part of our agreement to be allowed that access, Legends got a copy of everything we did. And most people in the photography world, which my daughter is a professional in, would never give up their raw pictures. But to get that access, we literally downloaded every piece of video and every picture we took and gave it to the company and Legends that were doing the photo packages. So I ask you, what is the downfall of me coming and taking pictures and video if we're going to give it all to you only so we can make this documentary on the backside? It's literally freaking ridiculous. So now, instead of being in the warm-up area where it's semi-quiet, all you have is some barbells banging, some stuff like that, I have to be out on the public floor where everybody's talking, all the music's blaring, all the MCs are talking, and that's where I have to do interviews. I just hope I can put something together because so many of you are friends of mine, and I want to highlight you guys, and I want to give you a product that you're proud of, that you'll be able to look at for years to come and show your kids what you accomplished at some point. Looks like you can highlight Jamie and Carolyn. That would be awesome. I would love to do that, but I have so many other friends. So many people in this chat are part of this Masters community. Denise and Shanna and Lido and like so many of you guys. I don't know. I'm really disgusted by it all. Lana, man, Lana is more than a friend. She actually worked for me at Masters Fitness Championships, helping me do vignettes on athletes up there one year. Nobody loves the Masters community like Lana does. Vicky, your integrity is awesome. Scott, your heart is so big it comes through the YT verse. Well, I hope so. Like, I really love these people. And I'm going to do my best. It's going to be just me and my friend Caitlin Walters. She's going to be my videographer. We're going to do the best we can with what we have. So we'll try to get something. Corey, Lana took more videos and pics of me than the people who were paid to take pics of me. Yeah, Lana loves her people. Gosh. Scott, you will find a way and people know who you are. So do the best you can. I will do the best I can. Thanks, Scott. We'll be there. So try to help you out. Lana always helps, man. She's freaking awesome. Yeah, last year, originally we were allowed full access to the warm-up area. People tried to stop me. Lana had Lana is half my size. Lana had my back, blocked the door, let me go do what I was allowed to do on that first day. Then I was talked to by Joe and said I had to stay out on the fence line. And I did that for the rest of the weekend. The rest of the weekend, I followed the rules. But if you tell me I'm allowed in the warm-up area, I'm going to go in the warm-up area. Atlanta working security was a treat. A treat. Atlanta wasn't breaking rules. I was told I was allowed the first day. That only changed after the first day. Who's their BTS? I have no idea, Jenny. I'm the only one that put one out last year. I don't think they have a BTS. I think they're just not going to have one. But it's all right. And, I don't need to talk anymore. I live here in Columbus. I get to sleep in my own bed. I just get to go downtown a couple days this week or next week and see my friends. I'll do that. I'll do the best I can with what I got. I do have lav mics that I'll use to get better sound in the crowded area. I'll do what I can. I think the last thing I'm going to say is, because they're here in Columbus, I did reach out to them and say, if you need any help, I'll help you. I hooked them up to give them connections with a local media school to get interns to help them out with stuff where they wouldn't have to pay for anything. And I think they're using that. I don't know. Jenny, seems odd not to give it to Scott since he made so much media for it last year. I know. I thought I had proven myself. And again, I gave them all of my content. They downloaded every picture and every piece of video I had, and their crew that gave out photo packages were allowed to use our stuff as part of their packages. Judy Reed, I wonder how ticket sales are. I'm still holding off, even though I'm definitely going. It's expensive. I don't understand that at all. Charging $280 for the weekend is ludicrous. That is gouging family members to come see their people compete. And God, you could sell way more quantity if you lowered the ticket prices, maybe fill it up, get people into CrossFit gyms doing CrossFit because they saw these 65-year-olds doing amazing things. But no, we've got to price ourselves like a freaking college football game. It's ridiculous. Judy Reed, I'm grateful I don't need a hotel. I know. Amen, sister. I want this to be such a success. I want the games to come to Columbus. We have so many amenities here. All right. Jody Lynn. Oh, thank goodness Maddie Reed treated me to ticks at the games. Yep. That Maddie Reed is an awesome girl. All right. One more update. Yesterday, if you saw my reel about my Tyson Bagent encounter-ish with Hiller, it turns out that Hiller did send my goofy ass video on to Tyson Bagent. I am embarrassed. I don't know what he is thinking, but I'm probably never going to meet him now, as I am the 55-year-old Make-A-Wish child that sent a goofy ass video through Hiller to Tyson Bagent. She recognized you right away. Scott, let's get a pick at Masters. Sure thing. That story had me howling, Scott, the thumbs up. Oh, I know. Yep. That's crazy. Granite Game semifinals were only like $20 a day. I know. I don't understand who's making the price point here. You could sell way more tickets at $20 and actually fill the place up and maybe make more money. Columbus's local comps draw crowds. If they have the opportunity to see the Masters at a price that's reasonable, you'll fill that place up. Ryan, I actually said what I would say yesterday on the show. Jody asked this same question. So yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with this, and then I need to get back to work. Been watching there is a small discount for affiliate owners if you buy 10 tickets. I just finished up the quarterback documentary on Netflix. It was really good. I really like the style that they do that in. I'm trying to watch those types of things so that I can make mine better as I kind of see how they do it. And then by watching Netflix and the way they do things, sorry, I got distracted by Jenny's comment. No chance Tommy and Shawnee being involved is why you don't have full access. They were involved last year and I had full access. So I don't know if I don't believe that is why. But anyway, they followed Joe Burrow from the Cincinnati Bengals. They followed Jared Goff from the Lions, and they followed Kirk Cousins from the Atlanta Falcons. None of whose seasons ended the way they wanted them to. But the story that fascinated, but last year you didn't call out Lauren. Maybe that's it. Maybe this lunch show's popularity has effed me for ever getting full access again. During the show, they talk about Joe Burrow getting robbed. Last year, if you don't remember, there was a criminal group that waited for professional athletes to go and play games live in prime time, and then they would go find their homes and rob them. And this actually happened while they were filming for quarterback. And so you get to see kind of it happen live. And that Joe Burrow actually like almost hid where his house was forever. And this robbery almost forced him to sell his home and moved somewhere else so that people did not know where he lived. And he had bought the Batmobile earlier in the season and canceled that because his priorities shifted after being robbed. It's really a cool story that I thought they did a great job covering. But I love the style that they do it with. And that's what I tried to bring to this Hattie documentary by watching that kind of doc to see if I could do some of that storytelling. So hopefully it comes across like that. You guys are killing me. Corey says, better to die on your principles than to live without any. True that. I was so bummed that he ended up not getting the Batmobile because of that. I know. But, priorities shift all the time, right? You would think the athletes would be wealthy, would have high security systems, and even gated. Yeah, he lived in the middle of nowhere. I think he thought that was going to be safe enough. I guess it was like an hour outside of Cincinnati. And if you go east at all from Cincinnati, the populations of those counties in Ohio are so small. Vicky says the Cowboy one comes out soon. Yeah, but it's actually done by the Cowboys. So that doesn't interest me as much. The Kansas City Chiefs one comes out on Disney ESPN tonight at 9. That might be interesting to me. Became a big Cousins fan from that. He was great in the first season of quarterback, and he was even better in this season when things were going bad in his mindset. It was really fascinating to watch what that was like and how his kids handled the move from Minnesota to Atlanta was really interesting as well. So they just did such a good job. Netflix does that one. They do Full Swing, which was amazing. I'm partway through Drive to Survive. All of those documentaries are so good. I try to do that to get better at what I'm trying to do in the moment. Like I watch all different kinds of people interview so that I'm better when I interview an athlete. I watch documentaries to try to do better at filming documentaries. Like I'm trying to do all of that. Ryan Aldrich, as a lifelong Vikings fan, I love and hate Kirk, but that documentary sealed the love side. As a Chicago Bears fan, I never understood the hate for Kirk because we would have taken a Kirk Cousins in a heartbeat with the quarterbacks we've had. Speaking of documentaries, did you watch WFP 1 on Tour Stop 1? I did. I did not like it. I thought it was too late to the game. I thought it, I know Hiller did a critique of it. I agreed with much of what he said, but it also was way too late to the game. They treated it like it was the CrossFit Games, and it was not that. And there was no tension. There was nothing to build on. It was just flat bad. It was flat bad. The Billy Joel one was really good. I'm glad you liked it, Jay Birch. I love that documentary. HBO is another one who does a great job with documentaries. As an old fart, I love Billy Joel, and I love that documentary. I haven't made it fully through a single video of theirs, and I'm assuming you're talking to WFP. It was so bad. So bad. They don't know how to tell a story at all. And then the last thing, just because we do talk entertainment on here, I watched the movie The Amateur the other night with Rami Malek and Lawrence Fishburne. Really good movie. Really good movie. In my opinion, I would give it an 88, maybe an 88 out of 100. The Amateur. It's about a guy trying to avenge his wife's death. It's got some nice twists and turns in it. I really, really, really enjoyed it. And it's free if you have Hulu to watch. Highly recommend it. The Amateur. The guy is good at one thing, and they just kind of it was well done. Mark Phillips says, I would have said 70s-ish on Amateur, so we're close. Yeah, I thought it was a little slow at times for like an action. The tension was there, but the action was slow at times. And that's why I brought it down somewhat. But yeah, I like the overall story arc and the way it was executed. I just think it was a little slow at times. Corey Leonard, I watched Love Hurts with Kei Hoi Kwang and Marshawn Lynch on the plane Monday. Fun film. So much fun. I would not put it in a great category. It's not going to win any Academy Awards or anything like that. But if you like old-fashioned Jackie Chan type movies, like the old-fashioned ones before they were Americanized, so freaking fun. So freaking fun. Really, really enjoyed that movie. Well, with that, guys, I need to get back to work. Got lots to do. Again, tomorrow, we're going to have two ladies on to talk about the Climb event here in Columbus, where they honor the victims of 9/11. And it's all about getting first responders healthy so that they can do their jobs. Can't wait to have them on. Debbie was on with Savon on Monday, and they had Andy Wilson on. I have a different member of public safety on with Debbie tomorrow, and we're going to talk through that event and some of the other things they have going on with all of that. So tune in tomorrow to be a little bit different, but something to kind of get us into the weekend. With that, I'll see everybody next time on Lunch with the Clydesdale. Bye, guys.